So a dry week yet again. I only had one trade, which was on the supply bar reported earnings, which were better than expected, but still quite flat year over year. And I guess people didn't really take that well. We had a relatively range bound weekly, but it's now breaking the higher low trend. We've had a higher low breakdown here, but now we've set a lower low, a lower high, and are now beginning the actual trend. So that's very neat. We are also finding resistance to the enemies, and we're quite flat into earnings after a bit of an up move. So I think it's quite a good position. We have this range thing, not the most exact, but the top of it's quite nice. The middle of it is also very well expressed, as well as the bottom. It just has a few good levels, but below that, not much. So also paying attention to that. Also, the middle is a good target. It's 20 cents, which we well surpassed from the gap. It was basically almost like 70 cents, 60, 70. And from the open, we had approximately 40 cents, so two ATRs done. Quite nice. So I think it was like 5, 600, 700% article, somewhere around there. Can't remember, 5, 600%. Yeah, quite nice position. I like the gap a bit too high up from the breakdown level. Would have liked it to be closer, but still quite okay. 60 just has a reverse ABCD. Yeah, they get a bullish sandwich and break it down. Right after that, I like how close these loads are to the breakdown level, and then when we're going the first CC after a 9 Dutch, we're just going. We don't really have a lot of problems there. So that's very clean. We started dropping intraday and then started holding this level, although a bit shakily, so like we did. Got me a bit too high up into it sometimes, but we basically held it very nicely. Couldn't really create new highs for a while. So that was very nice, held at the levels very well. So high level respect. I like that. We started forming UTLs, basically two. Like this one is a bit more shaky because we have one violation, two violation, and then started forming it here. This one is a bit more clean, to be honest. Anyways, what I liked about these crossout trades were just simple living. What I liked about my entry here is that we broke the first UTL, immediately came back up, VPA, nothing really special, I couldn't really get a good rate on it the whole day. And then as we came back up, we started going again and breaking it again, and now getting into the second UTL and getting a little bit lower. I'm not sure if we actually had a break here. I don't know, but I think we did, just but barely. And I got an entry since it was an SSR. I got a higher up. Still, it was a hellfire trade. I actually took like 0.34 hours risk. 0.34, I mean. And I ended up getting stopped out. It got held by this level, and then it worked. To be fair, I don't see any reason to have used a wider stop loss here. I don't think there's any reason to do so. I had a 3-1 down to around here with this stop, and I think my entry was definitely a bit premature. I would have next time I probably would have waited for something like this to happen, like these prices. But we had a very good resistance and a VWAP in the actual breakdown level, which was quite clean. We had great level respect, and we had the MAs on the 5 minute as well. I was just like, it's not. I don't necessarily think it's that bad of an entry to be like a tad bit early, and to have this very nice lower high double upper UTL break down, even though the rejection wasn't clean. But yeah, I think this was fine, especially for the small size that it was. Then I had a couple of tests, CLSK. Yeah, nothing really special. I would have liked a lot more extension here. I think this was a market sell-off day, if I'm correct. Like everything sold off. Yeah, we had iron as well, but it was, I think CLSK was lower reliable. Iron was also like 160, 180 percent reliable, even though it had like a very, very asymmetric risk. If I had taken this with 55, it got down to like 450, so like 9 hours. Jesus. I think that if I only get 9 hours, I would have gotten with a 5 minute PBH trail. But yeah, I think the daily was super, super nice here, backside, and now a range breakdown holding up is very, very well. And then a reverse ABCD setup. We have an initial drop low, and then we get a bounce, get rolling back under D9. We didn't actually clear, yeah, sorry, didn't see it well. But we were rolling back under 9, or actually, I'm using that terminology again. Anyways, so we were getting tied back near 9, a bit above here. So there's a kind of a double break line here. But I love that 39, 42 is coinciding with this level as well. We have a very nice range on the 5 minute. Could even have taken the breakdown of that and then added on the actual breakdown or the retest here, the actual breakdown. A little bit shaky, would have liked a bit bigger wake out for the actual breakdown to be takeable for me. But yeah, that's that. And yeah, I think a bigger trail here is definitely good. First of all, probably would have gotten like would have gone for something like a 9MA trail or a structured break or something like that. Because there's no real target here. But yeah, I think SPY was definitely helping this trade out. It had a very clean sell-off all day until like 10:30, where it started turning. So did Iron. Didn't quite bounce as much as SPY did though, or at least visually. Then we have Tesla. Just a very nice grip up here. We have a 600 price target, so we had an upgrade from Wedbush. Definitely extended 60, so I just wanted to scalp it for like 1 or 2 minutes once we broke out from here, which we got, but right from like 9:29 to 9:31, my internet cut out, so I couldn't take this. Probably would have gotten a stop loss below open price and entry around here. I would have trailed 1 minute PBLs, which would have gotten me out here, which I think would have gotten a very clean SF7, like an almost 3-to-1 trade, which I think is very, very clean. Definitely contributed that weren't actual all-time highs yet, so probably would have gotten a bigger reaction if we were. At least that's what I think. But yeah. Then we had Tesla on the following day. We had a very, very nice pennant forming here. And we actually got a pretty clean high of day break as well. So we had a double touch level, quadruple touch level using yesterday. We had an immensely beautiful fucking +9 respect here. Very okay-ish ABCD here. Not the biggest fan of this like red, white, not tightening at all. But I love this last green candle closing. Last candle closing green, then a wick out, and then a breakout. So that's very clean. The pen's also like pretty neat, and we have a very good VPA on the breakout as well. Would have liked for the 1 minute to be a bit less CC into the break, but still quite nice. Could have taken it that risk here. Would not have used a 1 minute PBL, maybe not even 2 minutes. I think 5 minutes, just the cleanest, which would have gotten me up here. A very, very nice trade again. Not sure what the RVOL was, wasn't seeming like extra, but I think we had like 150% loss at least, which for something like Tesla is good enough. For a alpha trade or something, definitely not worth more than that. Maybe this is just something that really made sense. I'm gonna get back to that when I'm talking about those because I accidentally put it in this folder. PLTR 200% Marvel on the day, no news, but a quite nice breakout on the daily. Weekly, I also like that we had this downtrending channel, bit of a peak out here, overreaction here as well. However, reclaiming the TMAs, Doji, fake break of that, retesting the 9, and then going. That's quite clean. Then we had a daily breakout over this 198 area, which is where I'm looking at the playing the stock. we have basically 1 and 2 resistance levels above us. So it's very, very, very clean. Once we got rid of the 1920 level, which wasn't in the cleanest manner, then I could go for a DTL break because it set up very nicely. We had a pennant, but was very, very wide. Then we fake broke that, fake broke view up, reclaimed, got a nice leg, retesting the moving averages. Bit of a hammer here, just freaking clean, dude. And the DTL level respect was also like undeniable. We got very tight, then we broke out, very clean PPA, then increasing volume on the break. It's just even with a 1 minute PPL trail, it was freaking nice. Anyways, high of day ended up being right under 195, which I probably could have gotten all out for my target. And yeah, that's that. For the things that really made sense, I have Rocket Lab. Just a nice clean move without any pullbacks up into the bottom of this range-ish structure. Not really range-ish, like a lower high structure, but the meat of the move was here. We rejected a bit of a one elevation, nothing crazy. And we had a head and shoulders-ish pattern with a range in pre-market that got fake broken very nicely, and then a lower high intraday, and then we started rolling. I think this is just a very clean little price action trade that I could have taken. Nothing extra about it, but just a great one. Yeah. Not much below to catch us except for these guys. And then the next one is like a 58 or 57, which is like already a freaking good risk reward. Then we have fuel, so it's just the one I wanted to talk about. So we're pointed this out. And it's a very nice trade, to be honest. We have a very steady uptrend. We're starting to get flat, but we're unable to really sell off. Then we try to break another time on low volume, which is a good sign for me. We failed, and now we're gapping up again on earnings. I'm not sure. Yeah, here's the earnings. So beat expectations, guidance. So everything is good. Everything's looking good. Market's also sideways. I think that's an important note that I would have missed if not for Guri. That market's been sideways and struggling as well, and looking a little bit similar to MU. And we also had a good market yesterday, but it's not been reacting well to those. Like every good market news we're getting up on and then fading back after the open. So there's a bit of a backwind here and pre-market as well. We have a lot of strength in MU regarding the gap, like it has a much larger gap than most of the other stocks. But yeah, we're getting up to the failed breakout level. We don't really have a clean pullback on the 60-minute, and we're getting accelerated here, which is very nice. We're like, I don't freaking know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 CC into this. There are a bit bigger pullbacks on the 15-minute chart, so like it's looking much better, but still, it's not really something that I think is very, very sustainable. We had, what was the article? Did I not write that up? Seems like I did not. Anyways, it was definitely elevated. I'm not sure how much it could have been. I think over like 3, 4, 500%, somewhere around there. Anyways, we wanted to break out of here, out of the failed breakout level by forming, this is over explaining it a bit, but I think it's quite still worth mentioning because we had a mini consolidation here and a breakout, and then we started filling off a bit, then got up again. And we had the exact same thing and the exact same failed breakout, although a bit smaller magnitude. And then we started yawning. So like at that second rejection, we have a double top, similar pattern. And it's just like, we probably cannot break out here, at least for now. And we start rolling, then we start losing VWAP, we start holding it. We've been mostly holding it so far, but there's not high VWAP respect. That being said, we start losing it here, testing it from the bottom, not being able to reclaim it. And then I could have gotten another short off of that after the DT here. Targeting is a bit more difficult here. Middle of the range is just very, very far away. Dynamic could be good. but I think best one is just going off levels from the recent past and maybe intraday. I mean, if PBH held very, very well, so could have done a big partial off of that, and then maybe structure. It could have been good. And then I had a new here. We just had a very, very clean level. We have a pennant-ish setup, then a bit of a claim of that pennant, not the actual high, which was just like wicks, but the breakout area. We had a bit of claim, mini retest, and then we just went without looking back. Would have liked for the open to be like 1 minute earlier and have this for the opening candle, but still, it could have been taken like right off the open with a very low risk. Probably could not have gotten this good entry, which probably would have ruined my risk to reward. But if I'd been quick on the trigger and trusted this, because I don't know what the spread was on here, so I don't imagine it to have been very good. But yeah, we had very great Arvol, and yeah, could have taken, but also would have been fine with missing this. Then we had DJT, 40% to about as a commercial privately held fusion energy developer TAE Technologies. So it a very good gap. Stock is like has been singing for a while, but we don't really have any good resistance points up until this guy here, which I marked. So very nicely getting out of this little range volume is like incredibly stand out, freaking rip your face off. Look at me, volume. So that's pretty clean, but the 60 is quite extended. So yet again, not really looking for anything big here. Oh, sorry, no, I was confusing it with another stack. The open was actually here on this candle. So we had a very, very big 60. I'm not really liking the wicks. I'm not really expecting it to get much above this, but these two candles are quite okay. Would have maybe liked for this one to be an inside candle again. Could have probably gotten more impulsive move off of it, but still, it's not bad. I like the download wicks here. We have a quite wide pattern, so not quite tight yet. But we're opening at the bottom. We dropped all the way to the bottom. We're starting to hold you up from below with nice upper wick. So I'm quite short bias up until this point, where we start like getting bottom wicks. And we form this tiny pennant which gets fake broken. And after the fake break, the top of the pennant, which is also VWAP, gets broken. We get some higher volume here, and we just get squeezed the fuck out. So that could have been a very great price action scalp, in my opinion. Like taking the entry there, stop loss, I'm not really willing to give it more. It just either squeezes or it's gonna chop. So I'm not really willing to give it a lot of room. I'm probably gonna put my stop loss around here. Then maybe take tiny partials off of like 10-25%, but then just use a 2 minute PBL trail when it is too shaky. I think 5 minute is just way too optimistic on a trade like this. So yeah, that was a week. Hopefully we get a bit more opportunities next week, but I don't think so. It's gonna be Christmas week.